Came. We're leaving. We're fixing to go somewhere. There's our beautiful fence that we all built. That is our front porch. Where we had our grill and stuff. And here, the only thing standing besides that porch is the fence that I built. Here's a little piece of it. Swing the gate towards you, Sarah. Yep, there's those 3 silver hinges. Swing it towards you again. Because I remember thinking, man, I should have gotten black, but I got silver instead. There's another post. Boy, I did a great job.
All right, Momo, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
The people wanted to know your part and your take on Hurricane Katrina. What was it like for you 20 years ago? So my first question for you today is, what do you remember about the days leading up to Hurricane Katrina? You know, obviously I was born a week before, so they want to know what was it like leading up to that day the storm hit.
Well, we were planning a breakfast for the church because my husband served as the pastor. That week leading up to it, we were excited about that. In the process of the time that they were talking about the storm. Like every storm would say, well, my husband and I, we always stuck together. When it came to storms, if we decide to stay, we stayed together. If we decide to go, we go together. But this particular storm was different. The mayor was encouraging the pastors to help them, to encourage the members to leave. So we felt it was a little serious. So I was praying.
So they were encouraging Papi to encourage the church members to leave.
Yeah,
Okay.
encouraging them to leave because they felt that this was more serious. And so I began to pray and ask God, okay, God, what do we do? And my daughter, one of my daughters, they had called me and say, Mama, you need to get out. And so, but I was praying and I saw this vision where we got closed in, and the bridge was shut down and we weren't able to get out. And I was like, wow. And when they were saying on the news that that's what they was getting ready to do, I said, it's time for me to go.
Oh, okay.
And so I told my husband, it's time for us to get out of here. He didn't want to leave, and he had influence over the men in the church. And they were going to stay. They was going to hang with their pastor. They were called the Brotherhood. They were young men that really stuck together. And so and then when he began to think about it, and then I was leaving too. So he said he felt that it was real serious, that my wife going to leave me. So he encouraged the people to leave. And the brothers, they start making plans too, and our vehicles and different things that we had, because each one of us had 2 ways of 2 vehicles. And so we, made sure that the people got out. So we had about 60 of our members that went with us. And we fled to Memphis, Tennessee.
So I do want to touch on that, on what you talked about, the bridge, close it down. You stay in the lower Ninth Ward area on the other side of the levee that eventually broke. So you're telling me they warned you guys about that bridge shutting off, or
they were warning us to get out. I don't think they knew to what magnitude or that the levee would break, but as time started progressing, a lot of things happened. They just thought it was just going to be a bad storm.
Yeah, I am about to get on that in our next question. I was going to ask you, did you think the storm would be as bad as it was?
Oh my God, look at that. That's storm surge coming in. Look at storm surge coming in.
No, at first, no, I didn't. I thought we could stick together and weather the storm, but it was something that troubled my spirit.
table.
I was just sitting in my dining room, telling God, thank you for all the things that He had blessed us to accomplish, and all of that good stuff. And He asked me a question. He says, if I take all of this away, would you yet praise me? Would you yet love me? And I didn't hesitate. I said, yes, God, I'll yet love you. I'll yet praise you. Not knowing that Hurricane Katrina was coming and took away those things that I was thanking Him
Wow.
for. So it was devastating. I was thanking Him for our church family. I was thanking Him for the things that the properties and the different things that He had allowed us to accumulate over the years. I was telling Him, thank you. And the dreams and things that we had to do things with the property and different things like that to progress with the ministry. So I was telling Him, thank you for all those good things. And not many days hence, here comes Hurricane Katrina and take all of those different things away.
All right, so my next question is, this is my last question talking about before Hurricane Katrina. We are going to get into what was it like when it hit and when you returned home and all that. But my last question about before Hurricane Katrina, I have, what was life like in the lower ninth ward before the storm hit? What was it like staying here on the other side of that levee before it broke?
Well, I thank God for the area that we lived in. We had a small ministry, and we had people. We were like family, and so we were progressing, and God was really blessing us in the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so my husband was known in the community. He was active,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was a life of promise, and I looked forward to doing great things with him because he was a visionary.
Mm-hmm.
And if he said that he was going to do something, I was right along with him. I was ready to go. I said, I got you, bro. That's the way that I talked to him. I said, I got you. And so whatever he did or desired to do, we did it. And we found ways to do it. I did fundraisers, did World Finest Chocolate to help to take care of the things that we wanted to do in the ministry to help bring the youth and others on trips and different things. So I found ways to make things happen. And they had people that will say that they never been out of the city until they became a member of Philippi. We started taking them on trips and going places that they didn't think that they
Yeah.
would go.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna talk about the candy later on, about how that played a big part in when you return home. I did hit out. I had one last question about before Hurricane Katrina. I do have one more actually. I'm sorry about that because I do want to progress in this interview, but it's a trending topic online about in this area on the other side of Levee before it broke, about there being a 50% home ownership in this area. So I do want to know, what was it like with you, because I know you have many properties, and you and Papi, y'all had many properties here. What was it like around for everyone else? Would you say like a lot of people had property and
You had a lot of people that were homeowners that owned their property and people that took pride in what they had. We didn't have much, but we took pride in what we had, and it was like a family type of atmosphere. So it was a blessing uh, to um, to be a part. And I know sometimes people give people names. You don't want to stay here. This is the worst place to be. Because I remember that even the area that we lived in, it was named as drug infested area and all of this kind of stuff. But God blessed us to be able to change things around even that in that particular area. My husband became the neighborhood pastor
That's
to
right.
many, and even the persons that they counted as no good, wasn't going to be anything, their lives were changed, and it was just a blessing, to be around those kind of people. And with my upbringing or whatever, the Lord prepared me as a girl, because I came up kind of like in the Desire Project and different things, but and they used to say in the Mighty Nine, we don't mind dying, but they lied. I did mind dying. But
Amen.
God
Thank
had
God for that.
purpose for us, and He prepared us for the ministry that we had to undertake in our area. And it was a joy to be able to service the people. It wasn't out of fear, but it was out of love. And many lives were changed.
Okay. All right. So that's all I have for before the storm. I know a lot of people was interested in what life was like, and that 50% home ownership that plays a big part in the levees breaking. Where were you when the storm hit? Where were you when the
I
storm
was
hit?
in Memphis, Tennessee. That's where we had fled to, Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, okay. And what was it like evacuating?
It was very challenging because it was so many people on the highway that was, trying to get out of town, trying to get away. And what would have probably taken you 2 hours took you maybe about 12 hours. It was just a long
10
process
hour delay.
because they had
10
so many
hour
people
delay.
on the highway, but we made it through it. And so we went to Memphis, Tennessee.
Uh, okay. So the storm officially hit Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina officially hit the city August 29th. What day and what time did you leave the lower ninth? Because it is known that the levee broke August 29th at, I believe, some people say 9 in the morning. So what time before that did you leave the lower ninth ward?
We left, as far as the hour, I don't remember exactly the hour that we left, but we got away as soon as we could get everything together and get the people together.
So I did hear that that y'all ended up leaving last second. My mom, she stayed here in Lower Ninth Ward, and she said that she wasn't aware of the storm as much, but when she was alerted about it, she left, and she also told me that you left after her. So I'm curious to know, because I believe you left
Yeah,
kind
we
of
were
last
trying to
second.
round the people up and trying to get things
Oh, okay.
together.
So
Yeah.
what day did you leave? Was it August 28th, the day before?
It was before we had left. When it actually hit, I do remember that we were in Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah, we had made it.
All right.
I mean, when the bad weather came and the levees broke and all of that, we weren't here.
Okay, so you're in Memphis. I do want to ask, what did you see, hear, and feel in those moments?
It was like, because we had the people with us, and it was like there were some moments that we felt somewhat helpless because you had a lot of people that weren't prepared financially, mentally, or whatever. And we had food, and the place that we did go, the people, they were very helpful to us. And my husband is part of the church of God in Christ. And just before, what was going on in our life is that we had lost our presiding bishop, Bishop Thompson, and it not long before the storm came. So we were in the process of getting another leader being selected, and my husband was part of that process. It was word sent to some of the people that in the hierarchy of the church to tell them that my husband was the selection to make sure that they take care of us. We didn't know. They wouldn't even tell us.
Right.
We didn't even know that he was the one that was selected to lead the people, and the city was devastated, tore up, messed up, and all of this. But anyway, we didn't know. But then when we did find out, we had to come back to New Orleans. But I want to say that I really thank God for the ones that helped us in Lafayette, Louisiana. And so leadership, my husband had all of this on him because he loved the people and he was concerned about it. But he was in the same shape that they were in. He had nowhere to, but God provided a place for us, and that was in Lafayette.
All right. I'm glad you brought that up about Papi becoming the bishop, because I completely forgot to ask questions about that. I didn't write any down, but just to recap and condense that story to the people, what I believe you told me, because I think that's amazing for people to know about how before you left New Orleans, y'all were in the middle of searching for a new bishop for your jurisdiction that you and Papi were in, and at the time y'all were pastor and first lady of your own church. You didn't know that Papi was the new bishop. Y'all see?
No,
did it?
We didn't know that he was this, because the meeting was supposed to take place that Saturday, and here we're preparing to leave for a storm.
Right.
And so no, we didn't know. That was privileged information, and so no, we didn't know.
So
what was going on.
With Papi being the new bishop, they made sure that y'all were taken care of and that y'all were able to come back home so y'all can, do what you were set to do here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great. That's great to know. Do you remember the first sign that things were going to be really bad or get really bad? I believe you said you were in Memphis when the storm hit. Do you remember the first sign that?
When I woke up and was seeing the news of the things, and different ones were saying, "Did you see this on the news? Did you see that?" Or whatever. And then we start really paying attention to what was going on back home. Seeing people on the bridge, sleeping on the bridge, and all of this kind of stuff. It was really, really devastating. Matter of fact, one of our members that stayed behind, he was on the roof. He was up. He had to go up into the attic to get out of the way, because the water in the ninth ward, it was real high, and in my area where I live, the water was up to the roof, and also the house that was behind my house, it fell to the ground. The one on the one side of my house, it shifted off the foundation. That's one of the newly built homes. You can see you got a lot of land next to it where houses used to be.
This is the main flood zone, a few blocks down from the levee.
Oh, that raised up. And then you see you got a lot of vacant land around here.
So do you remember what this area looked like when you came?
They had houses and everything in this land. If you notice, you got a lot of vacant lots. Where it used to be houses, but it's no longer houses in the area. That was a time that you hardly saw a vacant lot. Hardly saw vacant lots. You had houses and people as homeowners in the area.
There's a lot of open lots.
Yes.
A lot of land. Obviously, once houses.
Yes.
That were completely wiped out off the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so much open lots. And guys, this is the main flood zone. So in this area, you're gonna see a bunch of lots like this. I know you talked about before about you having a neighbor whose house completely came up.
It was somebody out there on another street where they came back looking for their house, and when they found it, it was on.
That's right. We did talk about it.
One lady that lived on a couple of streets over from me had said that she was looking for a house, and when she found it, it had moved from that street all the way to Claiborne Avenue. That was devastating. She stayed on Tennessee Street, and it was devastating. I had one of the relatives their house was moved, and all that was sitting there was the toilet, and on top of the toilet there was a picture.
Why you my baby laugh?
Yeah, it was so many things that happened. It's like, oh my God, devastation all around. Their house was gone, but they had a picture,
Uh,
one of their family pictures, sitting on top of the toilet.
uh, uh.
That's what they found after the devastation and the water
That's crazy.
gone down.
I wanted to really get them to understand how crazy that is from Tennessee Street to Claiborne.
Claiborne Avenue,
So y'all,
looking for their house.
that's some blocks. No, that's a walk.
Yeah,
That's a drive.
they were looking for it, and they
I'm
told
not
me that
walking
they
that.
found it that the water had moved it that far. It was like I said, that just in my block, a house behind me fell to the ground. One on the other side of me shipped off the foundation, and the fourplex.
Uh, uh.
If you would have seen the devastation, you'd be like, my husband was like, we need to just tear this down after that.
Wow.
And I was a person that believed that, oh, we can work with this.
And now the fourplex is up and it's still, you know,
It's still standing.
We are at the first property. Can you
Yeah.
please tell me what it was like coming back here? Because I know this whole entire thing was once underwater.
Yeah, it was all underwater, way up, and it had to be gutted out because it was, like a lot of water damage or whatever. And when you look at it, it was like, just don't make sense to try to save this. We just need to tear it down. And I had the faith to believe that we could bring it back to life. And I promised my husband that we can do this. And I was able to get it to the point where even today that we're still working on some things because of the tenants have done some things to it that we need to go in and correct up. But we was able to bring it to life where people could be able to actually stay in it. And so today that we're making a difference in the community and giving people a place to stay, to house and affordable rent. And so we thank God for the progress that we made in the faith in the process of it. And I've got to give God all of the glory. I can't take any glory, but I thank God for all of the help that has been given to help to make this possible, because I could not have done it without the help of various ones, family members, friends, and helping to do what we have done this for. So I am appreciative to what we've done. We're still doing some work on it, on this place. And as you can see, that if you step back this way and look at it from a distance,
They're probably not familiar with what this building is. I know you call this what you call a fourplex, right?
yeah, well,
So-
yeah, 4+4 units.
Four
Yeah.
units, one building. You got downstairs, two upstairs, and
Mm-hmm.
you even y'all experimented with something with adding a fifth unit to this building.
Well, we had the back part. We had a unit that we used for the office, but after my husband passed, we just renovated and rented out for some people as a living place for a tenant. So that's why we have done it that way.
So, what was your biggest challenge restoring this building? Because I know after Hurricane Katrina, during Hurricane Katrina, it was completely underwater, but you made it to where you were able to rent out every unit to someone and give them somewhere to stay. So, what was it like getting to that point where you can make this live?
Well, initially for Hurricane Katrina, what my vision was for the people who were coming back, that we would have a place to be able to, for people who wanted to come back or had to come back to see about their property or whatever, they would have a place to come and have a affordable rent. And
Okay.
that's what I initially had in mind, just trying to help the people that needed help. Because at that time it was, oh my God, we hardly had many places for the people to stay in, and a lot of them their property was just gone. So I prayed and asked the Lord to help me to be able to get it together where we could do that, and that's what it is, a place where I had people in mind.
20 years later, the building is still up. You had people telling you it's probably best to just get rid of
tear
it,
it down.
tear it down. So to this day, what is your biggest challenge now?
It's to
restoring?
finish it up, to redo some things, because even in helping people, sometimes you can have a heart for helping and reaching out to help people
No, that's right.
that are not on the same page with you. You do have people that don't have the same mind or see you as a person that's trying to help them. They take advantage or misuse what you're trying to do.
My next question is, how good do you think Will's question has been so far?
How good what?
Do you think my question's been so far?
There are questions that helps to educate the people on what some of the things that transpired.
My next question is, do you think the questions are going to get better?
I hope so. And right here is the area where my kids grew up, went to school and everything right here. As Alfred Lawless, you see Alfred Lawless.
So it's a very well known thing on the internet and in a documentary that this was a I hope I say this word right, predominantly black area.
Yes. Now it's mixed. The area is mixed it's not just black, but it's other people have come in and
Oh wow, what's this? It's a huge
that
lot.
used to be elementary school.
Oh,
Yeah, but
it
that's
used to
no
be a
longer.
school.
Yeah, so
It's just grass now.
it's a lot, and so they also used it as had it as a ground where they came and played ball and stuff like that. Then.
So would you
So
say before the levee broke that it was obviously, very obviously, a thriving black community?
oh yes, my children were proud. We came up in the area. It wasn't so much that we had so much and that it was a community where you had everything that you can think of was so beautiful, but we were proud of what we had and where we were from. We didn't allow people to make us feel bad about where we live or what the area that we were in. So that was the key factor. That was the key factor. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was once a foundation of a home,
Mm-hmm.
this brick, and now it's just grass.
Right.
Wow.
And this here was once right here on this side, a very thriving church or whatever building,
Oh, we
whatever.
got some
But
behind us.
they never came back.
Oh, wow. So churches, schools, homes.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you're going to see in the main flood zone area. A bunch of vacant lots. Wow, that is a lot of land. So all this is houses.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's a
All
lot
of
of
it
land.
was houses, and now it's just land. Houses that Brad Pitt came and he helped people to build houses. It's totally different from the norm. So if you look at this particular house and then you look at the style of these other houses that you will see as we ride down.
I had a comment about someone talking about the Brad Pitt houses. What do you think about the Brad
These are
Pitt houses?
Brad Pitt houses here.
What do you think about these? They look like something different for sure.
Yeah, they are, but that it was,
But it's a great thing. It's
different,
beautiful. It's
and
beautiful.
it's different. When it seemed like we had no hope or whatever, it gave the people a sense of hope.
That's right.
And
It's nice. No, actually, it's really nice.
they're
Like
really different. They're really different.
Like something from Roblox.
Different from the norm. So if you see all these different houses,
Oh,
you
wow.
know that the other ones were gone.
This one is.
This is and it was way up there on Claiborne.
What is going on?
Way up there on
Some of these
Claiborne
houses look like
Avenue.
something out of Amazing World of Gumball.
It's totally different from what.
But it's a great thing that he came and he built and he did what he did. He made housing right near the levee.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of land here.
Mm. So all different styles. People wouldn't have never thought about,
My next question is, how did you, as a mother of 7, I believe, right? protect yourself, your family, and your many properties during the storm?
By keeping a positive attitude and trusting God, looking for God. See, because I've always been this person of faith. They always tell me I had this crazy faith. And I trust God and believe that God will take care of. I was encouragement to my husband. And I always told him that, look, we can do this. Let's make it happen. And even after the hurricane, and we had to come back and all of these things, I had to be encouragement and keep a positive attitude about that, because I had grown children, and some of them had children, and I had to be that love and that protection for them as well, and as well as for the members. Keep a positive attitude that we were coming out of this, and so it helped us a lot because of that positive attitude and that faith in God. I had great faith in God that God was going to take us through it.
All right. So that's it for my questions with, as far as, what was going on in the storm, especially when you were evacuated. Now I want to talk about you returning home. So my first question is, what was it like seeing your property for the first time after coming back from Katrina?
Well, the thing is, before we came back, they were telling us that it was going to be a while. It'll be about 12 years before New Orleans can come back together.
What?
Can you imagine mentally?
12
Then
years.
you are being told, my husband being told that he was the selection and that he had to go back.
Right.
And I'm like, go back? Go back to what?
Right.
You had
That's
pastors
crazy.
that had made a decision that they were going to move on. They had moved to different places, different states, and all of that. They had made a decision that they were going to just move forward with their life. And I was like, I wish we can do that, and we got to go back. So we had to come back, and they wasn't letting us right away come in our area. We wasn't able to come back into the lower Ninth Ward
Oh,
area.
wow.
So when we came back, you would not believe the things that happened, how God had everything so orchestrated for us. Because when we came back, we really didn't have a place that we knew for sure where we were going to stay. And a friend of my husband they lived on the West Bank, and he helped. He brought us to his daughter's house, apartment rather, and because she wasn't there, she was she had fled the storm and she was out of town, and so
It's the
not
family
knowing that she didn't know we were going to be staying there, but we stayed there. And when she came back, it was like, what is going on? And
Right.
she didn't really question her daddy, because she felt like if he did something, it was for a reason. But anyway, that same day that she came back, they had another lady in the apartment complex that said, oh, she was getting ready to move and that we can have her apartment.
Right.
Okay. And she said, I'm not coming back. See, but y'all can stay in my apartment. So a few months later, who comes back? This young lady decides that she wants her
Wow.
apartment. So the next day, we get the apartment that we had originally applied for. It came open. All
Right.
of this
That's
was
great.
on the West Bank. And the Lord blessed us to pull things together.
So yeah, I do want to go over that again, because that's actually really crazy, and it just shows how much God had y'all back.
Yes.
So at first y'all went, when y'all came back home, y'all went and stayed in a friend's daughter's house, and she came back and she obviously wanted to be in her home,
Right.
and she wanted y'all out of there. But as that was going on, another lady just randomly, nearby, said, hey, I'm leaving. I ain't coming back. Y'all can have my apartment. So y'all went into hers, and you stay there for a month.
Yeah, and then
She comes back. She says she want her apartment back. Now y'all got to move again. But right as that happened, the apartment y'all originally applied for opened up,
it came open.
and y'all were able to move into that.
Came. We're leaving. We're fixing to go somewhere. There's our beautiful fence. we all built. That is our front porch, where we had our grill and stuff. And here, the only thing standing besides that porch is the fence that I built. Here's a little piece of it. Swing the gate towards you, Sarah. Yep, there's those 3 silver hinges. Swing it towards you again. Because I remember thinking, man, I should have gotten black, but I got silver instead. There's another post. Boy, I did a great job.
My husband wanted to come back here to the Ninth Ward. And he told me, say, I want to go back. I want to go back home. I want to come back to the Ninth Ward. I want to come back to the church and to our house. He said, just bear with me. Because I was like, go back to what? And so I agreed with him. He said, if you come back with me, I'm gonna fix you something up real nice, a nice home. Because we were talking about maybe buying some land, you know, in a country-like area with a lot of land and build a house, whether it be a family house. We were talking about all that good stuff. And he said, if you come back, you're not gonna regret it. I'm gonna take care of you. And I said, okay, all right, I'll come back with you. And so we did. And I came back with him. And he was playing. He had in the role of the bishop. So we had to help so many people that didn't have a place to stay. I was got my hands dirty, gutting out houses and cleaning up and painting and doing all kinds of stuff. And so there was one of the men that were part of our jurisdiction in the Church of God in Christ, where he had apartments and stuff like that. And I helped to get the apartments ready and work with it. And I really appreciate him, how he helped my husband and work with him to get people back. So we had to find places for people to stay. And some of the ones that say they weren't coming back, they came back because of the leadership of my husband. He was a visionary. And I tell you, the Lord used him to do a lot. And he told me, I don't know how long I have. He said, but I know that I just feel like in my spirit that what I got to do it quick. And did not know that it was going to be shortly lived, but he did a whole lot in a short time. And we found out that not long that he had renal cancer. And that was devastating, but I still stuck with him, and we believed that God was going to bless us, bless him to pull through that, because I felt like, well, okay, God, if you appointed him to do this, then it's going to come to pass. But he did allow him to do some great things. The people had the confidence in him, in his leadership. They had pastors that said they weren't coming back, that came back. We worked with the volunteers that came to our city. My husband had that connection and helped the many people to get back in their homes and in their churches.
All right. So I do want to know, what was your home like? Because I know you have many properties here in the Ninth Ward, and you got two of them that you have some buildings up. What were those buildings? What was those buildings like? Like was it still on the foundation?
Yes, our house, we were able to come and redo it, fix it back up, and redid that. And the same with the church. We were able to do that with the help of us pulling together. And then again, what we utilized was we utilized world finest chocolate. So I've been known as the candy lady. But I did it for ministry. I did it for the upbuilding of God's kingdom down through the years. And so this was a way that we utilized that to be able to build. And we were able to get it done. And in the process, I had to take charge of the projects because my husband physically had he was really ill. And everything looked like it happened so fast. His health declining and different things like that. So I had to deal with that, and then plus try to oversee the projects of getting back into the church and getting back into our home.
They made the levee taller. I'm just going to go ahead and show y'all the artwork that is done on the levee. This is some great work. As you see, the Superdome. of Hurricane Katrina, the 20th anniversary when the levees broke. So you're gonna see a lot of people out here visiting the levee.
It'll take the end of all time. Someone who
I have two more questions about after Hurricane Katrina. Then we're going to talk about the restoration journey that you was on. My next question is, what was the biggest challenge you faced right after the storm? What was your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge was really trying to get back is the finances to do all the things that we needed to get done. But I never was afraid of a challenge, and I felt like that I had to do whatever it took to make it happen. We're not gonna cry. We're not gonna whine. We're gonna pull together and we're gonna make it happen. And we had some people that believed in God and believed that we can do it too, because their faith, they were pumped up and they were excited about doing it. You know, we had a few that came back, and I appreciate those that stuck with me. You know, and we, the Lord blessed us to make it happen. But the challenge was the finances to do it. But like I said, I wasn't afraid of the challenge.
Uh,
And not only was the finances, and then with my husband's health, you know, praying that the Lord bless him to get it together. But I didn't focus on that. I just encouraged him, come on, bro, you know, let's do this. We can do it. And so I stepped to the forefront and took care of different things as I served as the contractor to contract the work and whatever. And I had to wind up firing some people, and I was not afraid to do that. You're not going to ride us. You're not going to ride us. You're not going to drink. No. So I had to fire people even that that I knew I had to fire them, and I was not afraid to do that.
Wow. So because of Papi's health, you know, you had to, put more into, helping out and being more of a support. I got a question. During that journey of, coming back, did you ever think about leaving New Orleans? Did you ever think about, maybe this can't work?
No. I always had that let's do this thing type of mentality.
All right, y'all. We made it to one of our lots that we have. This is actually a lot bigger than it looks. The person who's supposed to be cutting this, they got to cut this. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a lot wider. This is even wider than the fourplex we showed y'all earlier. But the person supposed to be cutting it hasn't been maintaining this. We didn't even realize, we didn't even notice till recently when we started visiting the property. 40 feet wide, I believe. My grandma, she's gonna come over here and walk y'all through it. But y'all seen the properties that we've seen earlier, the newer ones. This is the type of things that you can get done on these lots. It's what we want to get done soon. This is one of your lots.
Yes, this is a 40 by 110.
40, I told y'all.
40 by 110. That's 40 feet wide. And
now I did tell them about how this is a lot wider. This is actually 40 feet wide, but because of this,
that's the trees or whatever.
Yeah, we need.
That's on it. It goes over a little bit further. When I get ready to build, we can kind of like work with the tree part, just trying to keep the grass cut.
Y'all, we are really tired, so you guys don't mind hitting that like button and subscribing and supporting our journey. We really appreciate it.
Yes, and we are excited and looking forward to what's going to be built on it. And we have houses that are going up in the area. And we're kind of like looking at building something on that same order. Something real nice on these lots. So we're excited and looking forward to what God is getting ready to do for us. So that's they are like 26 by 100, and it's two of them right close together.
So this is actually two other lots in one, and we're gonna go ahead and show the other one. So we got two more to show y'all. We showed y'all the first one, and these two right here we have that we want to get something built on. So what was I want to ask you, what was Papi's intentions with buying this property right here?
To do something, just the same thing, to do something positive, to build
that you had planned?
It's personal property, but we just was willing to do whatever needed to be done.
So here is the next lot. I think this is the 5th one that we showing you guys. Here's another lot. Now, I think you did tell me y'all had something planned for this one right here.
Well, back then, when I was really working with the Avon products, I was gonna. My husband told me that I can use it to build something for an Avon store if I wanted to use that.
So you did speak about how selling Avon products was a way for you to help restore the community. And
well, I did a lot of the Avon before Hurricane Katrina came.
Okay. So selling
So
Avon was
so the idea for it was to do that. Then Hurricane Katrina came. Yeah.
Okay. So you sold Avon products. So that's what that property was for. That was Papi's plan to build you a Avon store.
Yeah, to give me that to do that. But like I say, Hurricane Katrina came and that we weren't able to do that.
And I think we're approaching the next lot, right?
The next lot.
And here is the final lot, you guys. There it is right there. That's the final lot.
I bought that one after Hurricane. After my husband passed. And that was after Hurricane Katrina.
So,
that was one that he wanted, but I knew that he wanted to purchase that one, and so he had passed before we actually were able to take care of it. So I went on and made it happen.
So that final lot, that was Papi wanted to buy that lot before he passed, and after he passed, you went ahead and did that for him after passing and bought that lot. So what was his intentions or your intentions when buying that lot?
To build on it.
To build on it, so a home.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see to this day, y'all, after 20 years, how the city has recovered from the terrible flooding.
Because my husband had plans, he had a vision, things that he had said that he wanted to do and that he wanted to accomplish. Now, far as having that home, a nice place for the family and different things, I've always wanted that. And that getaway house, I've wanted to have that. But far as the vision and the plan that God had for us, no, I wanted to stick with it and see it through, because I didn't look at it as just being my husband's plan. I looked at it as being God's vision and plan for our life and for the ministry.
Now we're going to talk about the restoration journey. I know you did talk about how Papi passed just 2 years after the storm hit, and you were left to take care of most of the stuff that was left behind, and you've made some promises to him. So we are going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about the GoFundMe that is in the link of this description, where people can go ahead and support. They can support your story, support my story, because I'm also on a journey to fulfill the promise to Papi. So my first question, we're going to talk about the restoration journey. We're going to talk about what made you decide to restore your property instead of either selling or walking away from it?
Well, when he was here, one thing that he always stuck with was that we don't want to say, especially when Hurricane Katrina came, and he was telling us we don't want to sell. We're going to believe, he said, because I believe that this area is going to be very valuable, the property. And not only that, we had goals and dreams that we wanted to accomplish. And so we had to maintain what we had in order to do that. And it was not selfish. The plan that he had, it was for the community, for his family, it didn't just include just us and our four and no more, so to speak. But it was bigger than that. And so we wanted to see things happen in our community. We wanted to see one day where there was a community center, and different things like that. We wanted to see our children experience generational wealth, different things like that. Be go-getters, be dreamers, that would take this thing to another level. And so we wanted to invest into the lives of family and of others. He was a lover of people, even in the jurisdiction where he served, when he presented his vision and plan. The people were just so into, they were ready to move. They were motivated. So it didn't just include just his four and no more. It included people, period. And that's my mindset. And since he's been deceased, my concern is to still support. I love the ministry that I'm a part of. I could have went on about my business after my husband died, but no, this is God's business. And I am working with them, not just with my local church. I work with whatever level that I serve on, district, jurisdiction, national.
National.
I work
National.
with it, and I do trips. I've done many trips for children to go to conventions and different things like that. And I would tell them, if you're willing to work, I'm willing to work and help you to
Yeah.
make things happen.
That's right. I've grown up, as you know, well, we both know, but the people, they'll probably like to know, me growing up, I was always taught, we're going to go ahead and get this done. So if you want to go ahead and do this trip, we've been on plenty church trips, probably like 3 to 4 church trips a year, traveling all around the country. And we all have to work for it. So yeah,
Definitely.
I do touch on
And you
that.
know what my word was to even the parents sometimes say, "Oh, I'm going to pay for them." I say, "No, you're not. They're going to work for it," because I've tried to teach them good work ethics and
Yes.
to before they would even go out to do the candy. Because if you were going on a trip, you knew where your money was going. There was nothing in the dark. Everybody knew, and we had it in writing. Okay, what's your goal today? We had to pray. We had prayer. You had to have a scripture, a word for the day. And you couldn't go out looking any kind of way in the public. Wrinkled clothes were not going to be tolerated.
Right.
You needed to know what your goal was going to be when you go out there. How much, what I'm going to try to get accomplished when I go. And you all went out there with purpose. And I had
Yeah.
one of the grandsons that they got mad with because he would always be the one that come in late, because he was not coming in, because we would set a time that we're going to meet back in a certain spot. But we had to most of the time wait on him because he was not coming in till he finished everything that he had, all of his candy. But that was his toughness and his determination that he showed. And he has great work ethics to this day. And I can say all of my grandchildren and children, they have great work ethics, and they have visions and plans. And I thank God for that.
I do want to shine a light on that. How you selling world's finest chocolate. How that right there, helped really help in your restoration journey, and help build the mindsets the grandkids have nowadays. Growing up, we used to sell world's finest chocolate in the New Orleans area, the West Bank area, any area around, and we'll be out, for a few hours a day, and approaching people, standing in places, asking what people like to buy chocolate.
You all know what it felt like for people to say no.
Yeah,
Exactly. There were many times where you had maybe about 10 or 15 people said no before one said yes.
Man, I've had times where I sat in front of what, probably like I don't want to say Walgreens. I used to do pretty good in front of Walgreens, but there's been some Walmarts where I'm standing in front of this Walmart, I'm asking people to buy candy, and just everybody saying no, no, no. I got my box in my hand. It's kind of heavy. I got a goal I'm trying to reach today. Everybody telling me no. Some people telling me I might get some cash when I come out the store. I got you when I come back. And then walk right by me when they come out. I've been told no 30 times in a row. Crazy. I'm like, man, what is going on? But it's that determination trying to reach that goal, that keep you going. And we kept it competitive. So you got other grandchildren outside. A lot of my cousins, we all outside, about 12 of us at a time, and we all competing to sell the most candy to reach whatever goal we was trying to reach. Yeah, and I wanted to shine light more on that, because that right there really helped the family recover from the beginning.
Right.
But my next question is, I did want to ask this question: how long did it take to make your home livable after the storm?
It wasn't not. It wasn't when we made up our mind to come back. It was not really a long time, because My husband was diagnosed with renal cancer in February
Mm.
of 2007, and so we were working on trying to not to was it 2000, I'm sorry, 2008, that was, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
or seven, yeah,
7? Yeah, 7.
seven, I'm
I'm sorry.
sorry. And we were trying, we were working on getting the house together and the church at the same time. So with the determination and God blessing and open doors for us financially, we were able to get them done right, kind of like around the same time. And it was definitely a challenge. It was definitely work. And so I thank God for how He provided and touched the hearts of people to be of a help to us and to the ministry. And so we were able to get back in there, redo the church, furnish the church, and all of that good stuff.
Uh-huh. Cool question. Like, did you have any fishes in your house?
Anyway,
Any fishes?
fishes in my house?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember seeing no fishes
You had
in
no fishes or nothing?
Mm-mm. We had to gut it out, and it was a challenge gutting out, and a lot of labor and work and stuff we did. And then we had contractors that were doing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I was busy trying to generate funds a lot to make sure that we had money to pay for all of these different things
Yeah,
for
and
the church and for the house, because we was trying to do both of them together.
you did talk to me about how you and your church, the church here in the Ninth Ward, pulled together, selling the candy, World's Finest Chocolate, um, and I believe you're selling Avon products, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Doing those things to gain money and restore a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, can you tell me more about that? What was that like? Because I know every day you woke up and it was every day got to get to something.
Yeah, I woke up every day with purpose. It
Uh,
was not a strain. It was a joy, and because I'm praying, okay, God, I'm on the move with purpose.
uh-huh.
Now, what is because I try to acknowledge Him in all of my ways, even where we were going to sell candy. I pray. I say, okay, God, where do we go? Because you couldn't go by all the time. Oh, we did good here, or we did good there.
Yeah,
I want to go back there. So I have to pray, because sometimes the places that you would be doing good, you might not do good
yeah,
that at another time.
uh-huh.
So it took prayer and determination and a love for what we were doing, and I operated in a sense where, God, I'm depending on you to make it happen. And that's what I had Him at the front of every plan or the things that I did. I didn't feel like that I could do it on my own. I always felt that I needed His help. Yeah, you got tired, but you had to keep pushing yourself. You had to stay focused on what you was doing. Didn't mean not you had to go when you didn't feel like it, because there were
Uh-huh.
times that you didn't feel like going. You were tired. You were exhausted. you
Uh,
know, and so it was different things that we did, and we never stopped. We kept the children going on trips and going places. There were times that I would even work and help to make sure that the parents didn't have to worry about their school stuff or whatever. I went out there with them and said, okay, we're going to work, you're going to do candy, so we want to be able to make sure you have school clothes, you have school supplies. And there was a situation with one of the parents when we did a makeover at their home. We sold
what?
candy and did a makeover.
I ain't know about
Took
that one.
those children out and we sold candy and we did a makeover.
Uh,
And that family was so excited, where the children had bedroom sets and different things like that. We
wow.
just made it nice. And so I wanted to give back to the parents as well,
Uh-huh.
and to encourage them and let the children know that there are times that the parents needs finances. They don't have the money a lot of times to do the things that they desire to. And I say it'd be so nice if we surprise them. So nice if you get out there and work and do what you can to help. And that's what we utilize a lot of times, the candy, to be a help to people
Mm.
and to the ministry, and whatever the ministry was trying to do, we did it for the ministry as well. And so we thank God for how the people pulled together. We were family.
That's right. I can very confidently say you're from New Orleans, after Hurricane Katrina, you've probably seen me or one of my cousins at any Walmart, any CVS, Walgreens. Probably came inside your barbershop while you was getting a haircut, and we've asked people to sell buy candy. I do have two more questions, and the last question being my personal favorite, and we're gonna go ahead and dive into a more personal note in that last question. But before that, I will ask, what has been the hardest part about keeping up with your property the past 20 years and 18 years after you lost your husband?
It's been a challenge with me because even see like with my husband when he was alive, that would thing I didn't have to worry about. Because he handled everything for us, the business thing part. All I needed to do is know what the vision, what can I do to help. But for as him being in the lead part and having him not there, it has been a challenge for me, and not having the financial support that I had when he was here. But I always still depend on God because God has made a way out of no way. There are things that I desire to have and desire to do, and I'm just yet believing that God is going to bless me to accomplish those things that I desire to accomplish. But I put Him first, no matter how tough, no matter how hard it may seem. I still put my trust in Him.
All right. And my last question, my last and final question, and we're gonna go ahead and check out some of the properties you have, and some of the things that you have done throughout the years, and we're gonna go drive around and show the people the neighborhood how it is nowadays. Because I believe that the neighborhood is beautiful. I did want to talk about how Papi said that the neighborhood will eventually be valuable, like a lot more valuable, and I think the Ninth Ward has been is actually it's incredible. It's
The styles have changed.
right.
The models for the homes have changed. It's different. The designs are different from what
Yes.
we have been used to in time past. And I'm noticing how people are taking hold of those desires and designs, and
Hmm.
they are utilizing them. So we have a lot of design. Well, we still have a lot of land. Well, people just don't have the finance or
Right.
to be able to do the things that they desire to. Because I know with myself, there are things that I desire to do. I don't have a house or anything on a couple of the properties, but I try to keep the grass cut and keep things clean
Yeah.
because I want that particular neighborhood to really,
Right.
to
Because
feel.
that plays a big part
Yeah,
in your value of
yeah.
your
I might
property.
not live in that particular
Right.
area, but I have property, and I try to do my part to have it keep the grass cut. And so I have someone that takes care of all of the grass on the different properties because I take pride in our area, and I do not want to be one of the ones that don't care because we do have people that for various reasons that are not keeping up the property or whatever. I don't know what the reasons are, and we don't know
Uh-huh.
what people are dealing with, what they're going through with. And some of the people that own property don't actually live here.
Right.
Some have moved and gone on. So we can't
Yeah,
prejudge
lawn
people.
lawn care is super important here because you got all these lots and
Yes.
properties that people haven't come back home yet since Hurricane Katrina, and even 20 years later, they still have their lots and they still have all this grass they gotta cut and everything, and it's just a great place for people who want to start a lawn care business for sure.
Mhm.
You come out here, you can make a career.
Mhm.
My last question, though, and we're gonna go ahead and check out some of the property and go around the area. My last question is, what does your property mean to you personally?
It means a lot to me, and I desire to see one day where we can build and that it can be profitable to more than just me, to my family, to others, because I would like to see people be able to stay in a place that's nice, you know, and different things like that. Sometimes when people look at people as rentals, they just, they don't care how the place live. They're just trying to make a dollar.
Uh
But it
huh.
goes further than that for me. It'll give people also the opportunity to be able to say I stay in a nice place
Yeah.
or a nice area. So it means a lot to me. And then being able to be able to build and do greater things, because I want to see my grandchildren, my children, they be homeowners. They know what it feels like to be able to be a blessing to people, to give them something nice, and that they can be proud to say, this is where I live, this is where I stay. So I want to be able to do that and to do greater works in our community, you know, in our church. And I thank God for our church, because we have a leader that didn't come back and try to reinvent the wheel when my husband died. He just, because he saw it, that this is God's plan and his vision. And I tell you, God has blessed him to do great things in our community as well, for as our church. And I thank God for that. And he has to be commended, he and his wife and family. And we just thank God for how God has blessed Pastor Thomas, who is my son-in-law, and I appreciate him. He has a heart for the people, just as my husband did. And I don't mind following him. I don't mind doing whatever it takes to make it happen. So we're doing great things in the community. And even since my husband has been deceased, he have added to the ministry more property, and he has vision and plans for it. Without a vision, the people perish.
That's
Thank
right.
God for a vision.
Amen. Thank God for that. I do have one more thing to say. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your story, and an appreciation of you and my grandfather and the other leaders. I started a GoFundMe in the bio of this video to allow other people, my supporters and my community, uh, to help me fulfill what what we promised to Papi before he passed. So there is a link in the bio that will allow people to donate. Everything will go straight to helping restore the property we do have, and eventually, continue to build and support the community. If people don't donate, it's fine. We appreciate everyone. We appreciate everyone's love and appreciation. There's been a lot of love. I will go ahead and read some comments to you later on of the people who's been sending love and prayers to our family.
Yeah, and I would let me just say this, that even what I have expressed and shared today is because I did it to encourage somebody. You never know what people are going through, what they've been through, and I'm just praying that as encouragement. I wasn't doing it for that reason, but I thank God uh, for people, because I believe that people don't have to do what they do. And when a person does, I do appreciate, because I do believe in teamwork. I'm a person that believes in teamwork. It's not about me, it's about making things happen that others may benefit as well. So this is not what I have, the vision, the plan that I have. It's not selfish. It goes further than me. I want this to move even when I'm gone off the scene, that lives are touched and people are encouraged. But together, we as a people can do great things. And I've always encouraged our people that I work with and that I'm a part of, let's stay together, loving one another, helping each other. And that is my desire, to see this continue on when I'm even gone off the scene, is to see people still have the mindset that it's not about them, but it's about the vision and the plan that God has for our lives.
And that's exactly what the Papi's Promise GoFundMe in the bio is about. Story. Thank you, Mamon. We really appreciate you, what you've done for the community and what you've done for your family and your church. Once again, guys, you want to go ahead and support what we have, what our mission is. You can go ahead to the link in the bio and go ahead and send whatever you can our way. Thank y'all so much for listening. For the interview, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you, Mama, once again.
Thank you for thinking of me.
Yes, ma'am.